What's going on YouTube? Austin Zay back here with another YouTube video, and in this video, you saw the title, you saw the thumbnail, I'm with my business partner and my best friend, Brendan Gray, and we're going to be talking today about how we went from basically nothing, okay, in the real estate world to closing, okay. At any given time, we probably got like 30 to 40 deals in escrow just on the wholesaling side of things, okay. That is not including traditional real estate. That does not include any of the flip properties that we're doing, any of the rental properties that we're buying. And we're just getting warmed up. But, you know, really we want to make this about you watching the video right now, okay? So if you're brand new to my channel, hopefully you get a lot of golden nuggets. If you've ever wanted to get into real estate, then this will be the video for you, especially if you've ever wanted to get into wholesaling real estate. And if you're not familiar with what wholesaling is, we're going to dive into that probably a little bit too. And we're just going to chop it up, keep it real. By the way, if you're brand new to my channel, I'm actually sitting right now, okay? I'm holding the microphone, okay? I feel like Graham Stephan would really like me right now because I feel like they hold the microphone in the iced coffee hour. So what happened was I was like, dude, let's film a podcast in my apartment, right? I texted Brennan, I was like, we got to film a podcast in my apartment. And basically, because I'm going to start traveling and we're going to start podcasting and interviewing really cool people. And we were like, let's just try it out. Like, let's just set it up in my apartment. Let's see how it goes. Well, anyways, we didn't have all of the mic stands that we needed. So I was talking to Aaron K, the man behind the camera, and I was like, dude, I was like, just take the weight off the bottom of my mic stand, and I'm just gonna hold it. So we're winging it. We're in my apartment. We're on the couch, and we're just hanging out. Brendan, I appreciate you being on the channel, bro. You've actually been on my YouTube channel many times before. So I appreciate you being back, dude, and I
appreciate you, man.
I'm ready to jump into it, man.
Fun.
The man, the myth, you know what I mean?
Let's get it.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't already, do me a huge favor, okay? Go ahead, take just a quick minute and just smash the like button, okay? Smash that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it. And Brendan, let's just chop it up a little bit, man. I know that, you know, a lot of people right now, I feel like, are looking to get into wholesaling, you know, and it's kind of a crazy market we're in, bro.
Oh, man, it's nuts.
I mean, like, dude, I'm looking at
crazy.
I mean, bro, like, okay, so we have 5,000 listings in the market right now in Arizona?
5,000, and that might be on the higher end right now.
Okay.
You know, we are low
dude.
on inventory.
And like a healthy market's like 30 or 40,000 houses on the market, right?
Yep.
In Arizona. So, you know, countrywide, you know, inventory's at an all-time low. We're seeing interest rates are at an all-time low right now. There's been talk of interest rates going up, but we haven't really seen that yet. You know, we've got millennials all buying houses all at the same time. People aren't getting evicted right now. The foreclosure evictions aren't happening. The moratoriums just keep getting extended. And, you know, the cost to build, right? New builders aren't building quick enough. You got all of these different things, right? And a lot more, by the way, which we'll probably touch on.
Yep.
And it doesn't necessarily make wholesaling easy. You know what I mean?
No, man, it doesn't. I would like a downturn.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Ultimately.
I think it would be good. I think it would be healthy. I think even if we plateaued a little bit, right? If we plateaued a little from kind of the high that we've been on, you know, I think it would be like healthy overall.
Yeah, I think you say high, man. It's literally what it is. It's like, you know, one of our mentors have, you know, spoke with us about. It's like, hey, there is euphoria in the market, just downright not thinking straight, right?
Insane. Pretty crazy, really.
It's not helpful for, you know, anybody who's trying to go out there and buy. And obviously that's what we do. We buy deals for a living. So, you know, but ultimately we're still able to make it happen. We're still making a huge dent. So it's a lot of fun.
We are, man. And what would you say, like, I talk to a lot of wholesalers every day right now. You know, we work with a lot of wholesalers on a daily basis. We interact with wholesalers all around the country, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, and agents, by the way, we interact with a lot of people. And I feel like, you know, wholesalers are struggling right now.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm seeing that, right? And I think it's because, and it makes sense. I mean, there's not as many people in distressed situations, or there are, but the people that are in distressed situations right now, nothing's happening to them, right?
Right.
They're not getting evicted. They're not having to necessarily, you know, they're getting the forbearance, you know, and everything from the government, right?
Yep. And
so there's not as many people in the market right now that need to sell. Right, which causes a lack of, I mean, wholesalers just, they're not able to get the deal, man.
Would you call it like a lack of almost urgency for a lot of the people?
Yeah.
And honestly, if you think about it, and not that I'm not ever honest with you.
Yeah.
But
I wouldn't want you to start being honest with me right now. I mean, we've been friends for a long time, you know. Just keep it real all the time, you know.
Yeah, and that's what we do. So,
That's a little joke we have, but we go back and forth. You ever hear people that are like, let me be honest with you, okay? Don't ever, if you know somebody like that, I want you to drop a comment down below. Like, we all know these people that are like, and we do it to each other, by the way, so it's just a joke, but people are like, let me be honest with you for a minute. It's like, so you're telling me you've been lying to me this whole time, you know? It's like, so we have a joke about it, okay? So be honest with me.
So, you say distressed sellers, and that's really, if you think about it, that is a category of a seller. Right? Wholesaler, investor, realtor, listing agent. Ultimately, at the end of the day, we're trying to just help people sell their homes. Mm-hmm. There's a multitude of different problems, services to fill, and ways that we can add value to people's life.
Right.
And it kind of just hit me when you said that. I'm like, like distressed seller, like that's totally just like a category of people, right? And right now, what I'm noticing is when we're helping people, because that's what we do at the end of the day, is we're going out there and we're helping people. And, our largest quote unquote customer, the people that we are helping, the category that they fall into are people who are they're not distressed at all. They don't need to sell. It is just a good time for them to sell.
Right. And
we provide a solution that's easy where they don't have to go through the traditional way of selling their property. Where like back in the day you had, basically an option.
Yep.
And it was listing your house. It
was, yeah.
And, now, to put it simply, you've got at least three major options, okay? Number one, listing a house. Number two, you can sell to a big iBuyer.
Yeah, and touch on that real quick for people that don't know, right? I mean, we're talking about, Zillow's buying now, right? We've got Open Door, OfferPad, depending on what market you're in, right? We've got Open Door, OfferPad, Zillow. Are there any other big ones that you're familiar with that are buying right now?
Open Door, OfferPad, Redfin. Okay. Basically those are the big ones.
Okay.
Silicon Valley, hedge fund money, right?
Right.
And they come into our markets and buy. So you can basically, it's like, selling your car online. You could click a few buttons, get an offer, and then they'll come in and do their thing, right? And then you can also sell to like a local mom and pop investor.
Right.
Which, obviously that is what we position ourselves as in the market. And,
Because the big iBuyers, right? They're taking a huge fee. I mean, when you look at the iBuyers, a lot of times, and we compete with iBuyers every day, right?
Right.
I think, in my opinion, the iBuyers' biggest problem. I mean, aside from their own internal problems of the fact that most of these people they're not making money. Right. So I don't know how they do that year after year. But aside from all of that, from the consumer's point of view, right? When they're buying the property, they're making the offer above what they're actually going to pay.
Right.
Because what they're doing is they're locking the property up, right? They're getting the property under contract, and then they're coming back at a later date, right? After they burn up all this time.
Right.
And then they're telling the seller via an email typically, right?
Yeah.
Like a long drawn out email. Well, hey, by the way, your property's we actually can't pay what we said we were going to pay, right? It's going to be like 50 grand less than that.
Yeah.
Because we got to do all these repairs and we got to do this and we got to do that. And by the way, you got to pay our real estate agents and you got to pay for the blue sky and the wind outside. Like, you know what I mean? And so it doesn't end up being, and don't get me wrong. I mean, we've still seen, like, I'm not totally trashing them, right? Because every now and then we'll see, like, they'll actually, like, pay a lot of money, right?
Yeah, and I've got a couple situations right now with close friends, and we'll see how it pans out with them. And I've actually, in some situations, with people, I'm like, hey, like, no, go with the iBuyer. It sounds like what they're offering is going to be really good, but I can't really tell you how great it's going to be until you get to the end of their inspection period here. So, those are the three options.
Yeah.
And there's nobody really distressed in the marketplace right now. Yes, there are a few here and there, but that's not the vast majority of, people that we're helping right now.
I think you're looking for people, man, that want the convenience of selling cash, right? And look, like I was doing a chat with some of our partners today, right? And I'm like, look, man, and they're like, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, the reality of it is, I'm like, there's a benefit of working with people like us, right? As opposed to an agent. I'm like, dude, some people right now, they don't want to put it on the market because of COVID, and they don't want people walking through their house. And I'm like, look, I take like something in, right? I take something to the pawn shop, you know what I mean? And it's like, dude, if I like the guy at the pawn shop, if I like him, I trust him, and I respect the guy. If I build rapport with another human being, right? I'm not always gonna want the most amount of money. Right. I want to do business with somebody I like, I trust, I respect, somebody that's convenient. Depends on the situation, right?
Yep.
And I think there's I like that you mentioned on that. I think a lot of people are looking right now in the market for You hear people, right? They're like, dude, I got to target freaking foreclosures. I got to target probate. I got to target this. I got to target that. And it's like, there's not going to be that many right now.
None.
You got to target people with equity and a heartbeat.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And it's just a numbers game, right?
Oh, yeah.
And you just got to find people that have a desire to sell.
Yep.
And it's like, okay, well, let me present you with your options, right?
Exactly.
One option is you sell it like you said, right? And here you go.
Right.
Which one makes the most sense to you, Mr. and Mrs. Seller?
Yep.
Oh, okay. It actually makes more sense for you to take maybe net $20,000 less on the property, but, we're going to close on it in 10 days and blah, 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 right?
Yep.
And, okay, that makes more sense. Great. Amazing. We have a deal, right?
Yep.
I think that's what people are missing in the market right now. I also think people are lazy.
Yep.
When I look at people, we were talking about this the other day, man, I think people in 2021, I think it's a good excuse, right? When you look at when you look at what's going on in the world, I think it's a great excuse for people to get out of doing the work.
Right. All right. There's nobody out there distressed.
Right.
So wholesaling's not a thing right now.
It's saturated. It doesn't work. Blah, blah, blah. I'm gonna go trade stocks. I'm gonna trade forex. I'm gonna trade. You know what I mean? Whatever it is, right?
You got to adapt.
You got to adapt.
And that's what we've done.
Right.
We've been doing this business right through a global pandemic.
Yep. We literally have 1 month of downtime, right? And I wouldn't even say it was like really crazy. I mean, I would say like 150 grand, 200 grand.
We lost 250 in 1
Okay,
week.
so we lost $250,000 in a week. Now, so we had $250,000 in escrow, right? Signed to buyers, you know what I mean? Hard earnest money, like ready to close in March of 2020.
Yep.
Okay, and so between March and April,
Yep.
we lost, all the deals fell out of escrow, right? Every deal. Buyers backed out. The earnest money. It was a nightmare for about 2 months. Let's call it 2 months, right?
Yep.
But by I would say by like mid-April, May of 2020. So literally 12 months ago, we had our best month ever.
Yep.
Literally our best month ever.
It's crazy, man.
And people are like, "Oh man, this and that." And so, okay, so like just kind of chopping it up a little bit, like. Again, there's a lot of people out there, man. I think they want to get in a wholesale, right? They want to do a deal. They want to do 2 deals, 3 deals, 4 deals, 5 deals. We've obviously mastered the game, and there's a lot of people out there talking, man. There's a lot of, first of all, there's a lot of ways to wholesale, okay?
Right.
I mean, there's a lot of ways to market, right? Because wholesaling at the end of the day is just marketing. It's okay. I got to get in front of a seller. I got to, and I got to provide a solution, right?
Yeah.
Well, how do you get in front of a seller? Well, there's 100 ways to get in front of a seller. I mean, you could get in front of them with Google pay-per-click, SEO. I mean, you could get with Bandit. You hear Bandit signs, right? You hear people talk about direct mail. You hear people do cold calling, text messaging, ringless voicemail, right? Driving for dollars. You hear door knocking. I mean, you could go on forever, right? About all the ways, Craigslist. I mean, Facebook, co-wholesaling, right? Getting other wholesalers deals, and that works too. What would you say in 2021? And I think I know the answer to this, is the best way to get in front of a seller. The most efficient way and the most cost-efficient way, if you could boil it down to like 1 or 2, there's probably like 5 I could think of that in a market like this would work really well theoretically.
Yep.
But your average person, right, if you're watching the video, that just wants to do a couple deals a month, which would change their life, by the way.
Yep.
They don't need to be doing 10 freaking marketing methods.
No, man.
I mean, they need to be doing 1 or 2.
You got to keep it simple, man.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
And that's what we've done. We've had to adapt. I mean, we used to have 4, 5, 6 different marketing, streams.
Yep.
And we had to adapt again.
We did.
You mentioned text messaging. It's dead.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Text messaging came and it has went.
Right.
And that's just my opinion. There's somebody out there who's going to be like, "No, man, I'm doing a bunch of deals text messaging."
And maybe they are in freaking North Carolina.
Yeah.
Maybe they are in Louisiana.
And things have just changed with it. It's like the biggest problem, man, and with text messaging,
the carriers.
Is the carriers are blocking you.
So the carriers aren't letting. So for those of you guys that don't know, when you're texting, right, you have to mass text. I mean, you can't text. You're not going to text single people like by hand on your iPhone, right? It's not going to work. So you have to mass text, and in order to do that right now, right, cell phone carriers, Verizon, AT&T, whatever, they're blocking the text messages, so you can't get through to anybody.
No.
And it's not even just in the real estate industry, because I get blown up with text, bro, in every industry.
Yeah, it's anything. And so every industry hopped on the text message bandwagon. I feel like real estate investors kind of started that, if I'm not mistaken.
They did. They for sure did.
And, you know, we went from being able to send mass text messages, just a normal text message, to basically, before the carrier started blocking, it's like, okay, now we have to add, if you don't want this text message, click stop or reply stop at the end to be able to send the text
Which
messages.
decreases your conversion huge, bro. I mean, because like if I get one of those where it's like it's an opt-out, it just doesn't seem authentic, right?
No.
And if it doesn't seem authentic, then I'm like, oh, it's not, you know, and I just don't reply, to delete it.
Yeah, and
you know,
a lot of new wholesalers look at what people had been saying over the last year about texting, and it seems like a cheat code. It seems like a way in. And so, you know, they're also going to run around, try and find, like, you know, all these places. I mean, it's actually hard to find, like, a platform to go text message off of. But, yeah, no. I mean,
hard.
We went from looking like an authentic personal text message to a complete robot.
Right.
Okay? Then now you're battling the carriers are just not allowing your messages to go through.
Right.
So, you know, multiple different problems there where, you know, I started to feel like, hey, like I'm just spending money here, me and you, you know, we're just, you know, we're getting results, but not the results that we were.
No, and not the results that we're looking for, right? I mean, you know, when we look at, you know, what it is that we're looking for, I mean, look, it's all ROI based, right?
Yep.
So we got to track our numbers. We got to look at our KPIs, right? Our key performance indicators. And we got to say, okay, you know, we're spending, you know, 10 grand.
Yep.
You know, what are we making on that? And anybody watching, same thing, right?
Yep.
I mean, you got to know, okay, you know, because you're either going to spend money in the beginning or you're going to spend time, right? And I always tell people that, right? Yep. People call, you know, we talk to our people that are, you know, partnering up with us all the time. And I say, look, man, I said, what do you have more of right now? You got more money or you got more time?
Right.
For real, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, well, I got more time than I got money. I'm like, good, get in your car.
Right.
Do you have money for gas? They're like, yeah, I got money for gas. I'm like, great. I'm like, go drive around, right?
Yeah.
And look for distressed properties. I'm like, you got $50 a month? They're like, no. I'm like, okay, you got $2? I'm like, yeah. They're like, yeah. I'm like, go get a legal pad, right? Pull over your car and write down the address on a legal pad, right? They're like, I got $50. I'm like, good, get Deal Machine, right? They're like, I got $100. I'm like, great, get more gas, you know?
Right.
But then if they're like, hey, dude, I got a couple grand, then it's like, cool, dude, let's get you on the phones, right? Let's get you a cold caller. Let's get you doing some other forms of marketing, right? Okay, so texting's dead.
So
in our opinion, right?
Yeah.
Again, in our opinion, take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah,
we'd love to know your thoughts, by the way, right? Drop in the comment section down below. Like, if you're having success with texting, we'd love to know what market you're in, okay, in the country, because this does vary market by market sometimes. I will say texting 50-50 because it's like cell phone carriers in general, but a lot of other forms of marketing varies market by market.
100%.
Right? Like direct mail will work really good in one market.
Yeah.
And not good in another market.
Put a bandit sign somewhere, it's gonna work.
Imagine putting a bandit signs in Phoenix, though.
Yeah, never gonna work.
It's never gonna work.
It's never gonna happen.
But dude, I was working with a guy like a year ago. So this was a year ago too, and things do change in a year in the real estate industry, especially.
Sure do.
But I was working with a dude a year ago. It was in some small town in Florida. I can't remember what town, but it was.
I think I remember you telling me that.
This small town in Florida,
and he was
bro.
Crushing it.
Bandit signs.
Right.
That's like all he did, bro.
Yeah.
He was doing like 4 deals a month just with bandit signs.
Yep.
And like actually like crushing it.
Yeah.
You know.
Reusing the signs and stuff like that. I mean, it can be done. Like now, yeah, it's like, all right, all of this stuff can be done, but for us in our business, right?
We started cold calling.
What's working for us now to this day is where we started and now where we're at right now with everything is cold calling, man. Yeah. And that's just the thing is like you say, like people just don't want to work.
People don't want to do it.
So, you know, whether it's bandit sign, email, texting, whatever, what are you going to end up doing?
Right.
Getting on the phone.
Yep.
So it's like, why don't you just cut to the chase?
And that ain't going away, ladies and gentlemen. Name one thing. Look, you look at everything else. It's like, all right, Facebook could get replaced by the next one, and Instagram could theoretically but it's like the good old fashioned phone call,
dude.
I mean, not in the near future, right? Because you got to invent somehow. I'd have to be able to communicate with you telepathically, in order to get rid of the cell phone.
Yeah.
Like how am I going to communicate with somebody?
Like a virtual person.
They'd have to be like,
you know?
What would that even look and feel like? You know what I mean?
Like you put on your virtual goggles and now you're talking like that.
It's like Iron Man. Like you see an Iron Man.
Yeah.
Where it's like
do a belly to belly seller appointment just with VR.
Can you imagine?
That'd be pretty lit.
That would be pretty dope. Have you seen that movie actually? There's a movie, bro. It's like the cover of the movie. It's on Netflix. Aaron, you might know the cover of the movie. It's like it's like purple and stuff, and it's like 2050. The movie's like shot in like 2050. and they like live in their trailer parks and stuff with like virtual reality world. That Ready to Play 1, bro. Have you seen that?
I haven't, dude.
Bro, you got to check it out.
Man.
You know what's messed up about it when I watched that movie?
What?
Is I was like, this could actually for real happen. Like, it's a little too, like, when you live in 2021, when you're living right now and you watch the movie I'm talking about, you're like, wait a minute. Like, that actually, like, you can kind of visualize, like, the world going there to, like, that exact, like,
oh, no.
You know, it's kind of crazy, bro.
That's scary.
So you literally have, like, the rich and you have the poor, right, eventually. I know this is, like, totally off topic, but you have the rich and you have the poor. You don't have any middle class, right? And then you got the rich people, like, still, like, have, like, fat houses. Like, they're living the dream, right, doing their thing. And they own all the companies that, like, do all the VR stuff and everything like that. They own all the big companies in the world, right? And all the poor people live in, like, trailer parks. And the trailer parks are just stacked up, bro.
Oh, man.
And because they ran out of land, the trailer parks are just stacked up. And everybody, like, in their trailer just wakes up in the morning. And everything's, like, drones and stuff. So, like, you can get all this stuff delivered via drones. They put on virtual reality, like, goggles in the morning. And they live in, so they never leave their trailer. Oh, but they have a whole nother life. So they have a character, a player in another in this other world, right? And they're dating people and they're doing like, you know, and then at night they just take their goggles off and go to bed. Yeah. So everybody's like super out of shape, you know what I mean?
Right.
No bueno.
It's just what you don't want.
It's what you don't want. So that would have to happen, right? In order for we got a while, okay, in wholesaling. I think we got a while, man.
And even
got a while.
Even then, you know,
right?
It's gonna be around.
We have time, bro. So okay,
it'll look and feel different though.
So cold calling, man, cold call. What do you think it will look like in however many years? I mean, there's a lot of people.
Like you say, last year,
yeah,
dude, a month ago we were text messaging,
right?
So
it's changing, man,
and we were crushing it with text messaging in a year. You know, within that year. So, I mean, you'll literally be doing virtual reality seller appointments.
Yeah.
You know,
that's the truth.
Like, I really think you'll be doing that. Like, oh yeah, I would rather like to see you.
Yeah.
I want to see who you are.
Right.
Let's do a virtual reality seller appointment.
Isn't that crazy?
Like, yeah, I'll come and meet you. Here's my VR code.
Right.
You know, we're gonna go ahead. It's like a Zoom call, but we're actually like belly to belly now.
Yeah. And you're just literally chilling on your couch like we were doing right now.
Literally, you just can't dap each other up.
Yeah, dude, that's crazy, man. You know, and who knows, man? And I think you said it best. Like, you just have to adapt. You know, people don't adapt, and people don't adapt in a lot of ways in life, I think. Yeah. And I think the people that don't adapt get left behind. Yeah, I mean, look at the real estate industry as a whole.
Survival of the fittest, man.
Right? It's like, look at the real estate agent. Look at the real estate. We're going to be making a lot more content about the traditional real estate model too moving forward. And I think even that model's broken in a big way.
Yeah, it's changed a lot.
It's changed, man. And I think your agents out there that are 1Z, 2Z agents.
Yep.
I don't know. I just think it's changing, right? I think
sure
you know, we could go on a huge tangent, but
and there's a lot of opportunity there.
Yeah.
You know, and that's where it kind of gets fun. And it becomes now a whole new game.
Right.
But I mean, there was a time when people said cold calling was dead.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, I remember like it was yesterday.
I mean,
bro.
they still say that.
Everybody's like, cold calling's dead. You can't cold call.
Yeah.
They do still say that.
They do still say that, but it's like, where do you end up? Like, when you get your lead, like, you end up on the
call. It's like, you know what I think it is? People are just bad at building rapport and talking to people.
Yeah.
That my whole
phone
phone
too early.
Oh my gosh, bro! Quit too early.
You know?
They get hung up on one time. They're like, all right, dead lead. Yeah. Dead lead. We're done. Don't follow up.
And I get it. It's hard, man. Like, you know, and you can probably attest to this, but it's like, hey, like, it took me a long time to build up my skills on the phone. So you gotta have that vision to get to that point.
Right.
You know, and I see a lot of people who make it through, you know, other than myself, that have, you know, built huge businesses off of literally just cold calling. But man, that right now to me is the move. Cold calling, man. Yeah. Like, even for your realtor.
Right.
Like,
and relationships, I think, are really big.
Yep.
You know, we get a lot of deals with relationships. You know, we have a ton of relationships, right, with real estate agents, with wholesalers, with all kinds of people. You know, and I think we're just like, I think we pride ourselves too, man, on really, you know, and we talk a lot about this, and I feel like we've touched on it a lot, like during the podcast. Which, by the way, guys, if you kind of like this, like, you know, just chill back. I like literally. No tripod, okay? Like, in a sweat, like, just chilling. Definitely like the video, okay? Really appreciate it. We're going to literally talk about so much more. But I feel like, man, a lot of people, and what we do really well at, and what we try to do well at, right? And we're always getting better, obviously, with our team, with our people, is just, you said it in the very beginning, just we solve the problem.
Yeah.
Right. So we try really hard not to sell, not to be like salespeople, right?
Yep.
Because we're not really salespeople. I mean, like, we're really just like we're kind of in the service industry solving a problem, right? It's like we're a waiter.
Yep.
We're a waiter. It's like, hey, what do you want for dinner? You know, it's like, hey, where are you trying to move? How much money do you want? What do you need to be able to do that?
Right.
What does that look like for you? What's your timeline? You know, what would it look like if you sold with an agent? Okay, you're going to pay 6% in realtor fees. You're going to pay, okay, you got 2%, 1% in closing costs. Okay, you got to repair your property. You got to update your property in order to get that amount of money, right? Whatever Zestimate says or whatever, right? But I think it's just looking at that, and then we say, okay, well, like, we're just their friend.
Yeah.
We're just their friend. I'm not trying to sell you. Look, you want to work with us or you don't.
Right.
But I'm never going to make a seller sign a contract that doesn't want to sign it.
No.
And I think a lot of wholesalers do that.
Yeah,
you hear about that.
Yeah, they do. And then they end up,
and then seller ends up not wanting to perform every time.
Yeah.
Right? And then they end up having to file a bunch of crap and this and that. And it's a disaster.
Just strong arming people, you know.
Which is short-lived.
No, and
you know,
we gotta I gotta go to bed at night.
Right.
You know,
dude.
I'm a good guy. You're a good guy. It's like, hey, like that, and you said it best. It's like we're helping people. It's like our team. What we tell them is like, hey, what do we do?
Yep.
We help people, and we're their friend.
Couldn't agree more.
And those two things. I mean, our own guys will tell us like, I'm like, yo, man, what are you doing? You're crushing it.
Yeah, for sure.
He's like, I'm just doing what you told me. I'm just helping people, and I'm just being their friend.
Yeah, that's all it is.
And
build rapport.
Like you say, just ask the right questions. Like, we're never talking.
Yep.
We just ask a question.
Yep.
Customer service.
Faux show. Literally.
It's pretty fun.
Like, it's like the ideal. Yeah. And dude, it's like that in every industry, man. You can take what Brennan just said and you can apply that to any freaking industry, bro. Yep. Any industry, man. Just come from a place of abundance, come from a place of love, you know, and genuinely care about people. You know how many people don't care about people nowadays? It's like, listen, if it's not a win-win, I don't want to do the deal. I don't want to work with you. If it ain't a win-win, like you just said it best, like I got to go to bed tonight without taking any drugs or drinking alcohol, drinking booze.
But we'll help you, put you into the position of where like, hey, like if it ain't a win for us, let me make a win for you.
Yeah.
Like, can I still serve you?
Right.
And that's the other way too, where people just get thrown right off the rail is like, hey, this doesn't work for me as a wholesale deal. All right, I'm done. Click.
Well, that or it's like, oh, you need help moving? Okay, well, we can't help you do that.
Yeah, man. Like,
oh, you need this or that? Oh, yeah, we can't. You know the amount of times that our team has gone and helped a seller move out of their property?
Like our own two hands.
Like with literally like you know what I mean? And it's like, dude, like, yeah, of course. Like, why not? Like, you know, we're not too good for that.
Dude, it's
the
those,
little
it's
stuff,
those
bro.
things.
It's the little stuff.
Like, you look back and you're like, you know,
yeah,
you're proud of what you do. You love what you do. You help people. It's like the money's cool.
Right.
Like, don't get me wrong. Like, but for me, like personally, like the money's great. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, you gotta have money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Money makes the world go round, baby.
Yeah.
You
and
know
that's
what I
how
mean?
that's how we're gonna do big things.
Right.
But it's like I get my kicks from helping people. Mm-hmm. There's no feeling that I get that is better than when I give somebody something or when I'm actually helping them. Like helping at the end of a transaction, and you know, your seller just basically got retail for their house.
Yep.
You know, and you made it. They basically could have gotten that same number going to list with a realtor, but all they had to do was have my smiling face show up, take a few photos.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And you're fired up. They're fired up. Everybody's fired up.
And wholesalers are in a position to do that right now, but people just don't realize it.
Yeah. So listen, you gotta figure out how to you gotta be the kind of guy or girl, right? That people want that, like, not that people want you to be, but like well, first of all, that you should be, right? If you want to succeed in business long term. And then if you become or already are that person, then it's just a matter of marketing. It's just a matter of getting in front of people. It's just a numbers game at that point. If you talk to enough people and you actually care, you genuinely care, you build rapport, then ultimately you can succeed as a wholesaler. You can succeed in a market this complicated as a real estate agent, Kay. We're doing it every day, right? And we're just at the very beginning, I think, of what is about to be really, really, really big for us. Not that it isn't already really big, because it is, and we're really blessed and we're really grateful to be where we're at. But we're at the very beginning, man, and we talk about it every day, right? And I think that there's a lot more out there for a lot of you watching, right? Like for you watching right now, there's so much out there for you. There's so much abundance out there. There's so many people right now that have taken their eyes off the prize. There's so many people getting out of the industry. There's so many people that are out, doing a bunch of other junk, doing a bunch of other crap, right? And they're not focused. They're not focused on the prize, on the end all be all, which is the real estate, baby.
Yeah.
Right? Which is the literal, like, you know what I mean? My neighbors are going to be like, what the heck, bro? But that's the reality of it. Okay. So, dude, any final thoughts, man? I know that we just kind of wanted to do this. We just kind of wanted to drop a couple golden nuggets, but any thoughts on just succeeding right now in the world of real estate, in the world of wholesaling, at all before we hop off? And we're going to make a bunch more content, by the way.
Yeah, dude.
So,
yeah, no, it's tons of fun. Man, just have fun with it.
Yeah. Oof.
Just get out there, just have fun with it.
Have fun.
That's what we do.
It's a game, bro. Life's a game.
We just help people have some fun.
We have fun, man. And we are having fun. We have a blast every day. We're running around the office. I think that was one of our biggest learning lessons in our last season of life, right? We go through seasons. Is we just got to have fun. We got to keep it real. Treat it like a game, right? Life's a game. If you were playing a game Monopoly, you wouldn't get all freaking bent out of shape unless you're one of those people that gets bent out of shape over a game. I know those people that freaking hit. But for real, right? No, you play the game. You pass go. You collect $200. You play the game, right? Play the game of life. Play the game in your relationships. Play the game. I don't mean like a game. I just mean like play like as if it were the whole thing was a game, right? Don't take life so seriously. Don't take business so seriously. Don't take rejection. Don't take that to heart, right? Like people are gonna, and there's all these things that happen on the road and on the journey, man, to becoming successful. You just got to treat it like a game.
Yeah.
It's a bunch of fun.
It's like rejection, bro.
Right.
It's like, I love rejection.
And you learn from it, bro. You learn.
I eat that.
I get to deal with rejection.
Yeah.
Not I have to.
That's what we do, man.
People are like, oh, I got rejected, bro.
People tell me no. I'm like, great.
Yeah.
I'll fail a million times, bro.
100%, man. 100%. In every area of life.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
100%.
And we fail every day, bro. You and me. Like, we're actually massive failures. Like, you know what I mean? Like, in the grand. But we fail so often that we just make a bunch of money in the process.
Like,
and we
boom, fail. Boom, fail.
Right.
Boom, fail. Every day is just a failure.
Literally, bro.
And then it's just a normal average day.
It's like, okay, great. I failed. How many times we failed today? Brendan's like 13 times. I'm like, how much money we make? He's like 40, 50 grand, 100 grand.
Yeah.
I'm like, great.
So we won like once.
I'm like, so we got to fail 26 times tomorrow. We make 200. Okay, cool.
Boom.
I'm like, boom, baby.
Dude.
Right? And same thing in every area, right? When you look at, relationships, man, when you look at like physically, look at mentally, spiritually, right? It's a learning lesson, get out there and put yourself in a situation to fail, put yourself in a situation to learn, to mentally evolve, to grow, to expand your horizon, to literally manifest abundance into your life, dude. I think a lot of people are afraid, and I think a lot of people, they beat themselves up, man.
Yeah.
They beat themselves up as if it's not a game.
Right.
It's like, dude, snap out of it.
Yeah.
Like you messed that up. You messed that up, bro, big time. Like you freaking like there's been times in my life lately I'm like, wow, Austin, you really, really messed that one up, dude. Like, look back, I'm like, that was some world class like BS right there.
Yeah.
Like, but I'm like, dude, I learned a ton from that, right?
Bro, you stumble down the stairs.
Right.
But you're still moving forward.
And I'll
baby.
never be that guy again.
No.
Like that's the beautiful thing, right? I wake up and I'm like, dude, like I'll never be that guy again. No. Like that guy every day. Like I posted a thing on my Instagram today. I was like, new day, new me, right? Because every day it's a new me.
So sick.
I'm not who I was yesterday.
Nope.
Like I'm not the same dude, right? Because whatever I learned yesterday, I'm going to implement today.
Yep.
Right? Whatever failures, whatever things I look back and I'm like, man, I could have treated this person better. I could have done this. I could have done that. I could have gone out of my way here. I could have opened the car door there. Whatever it is, bro.
It's so
like
real.
Anything, right? The next day I'm like, all right, I'm implementing that.
Yep.
Right? I'm not going to do that again. And I think that's what it's all about, bro.
It is.
Just don't make the same mistake 2, 3, 4, 5 times in a row. Make different mistakes.
Learn, baby.
Come on now. Get out there and crush your real estate goals, crush your goals in life. Go follow Brendan Gray on Instagram. Put all this information down below. We're going to be doing a lot more of this. So if you liked kind of just a chill vibe, we're chilling on the couch, man. We just big chilling. Drop a comment, like the video, okay? And we're going to be doing a lot more. Also, whatever content you'd like to see in the future, let us know, okay? Drop in the comment section, but let us know. Like, it could be anything. It could be like traditional real estate, wholesaling, man. It could be life, liberty, the freaking pursuit of happiness. And let me tell you, we're just in the pursuit.
Yep.
We're never going to achieve the goal.
No.
I don't want to achieve the goal. Okay. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.